Hi everyone. Okay. Last vlog, I'm gonna start with kind of talking about that timeline for growth. And then I have just a few things that I've been thinking about from the readings that I want to talk about if I have time. So in terms of growth, I kind of separated it into like short term, like in the middle and long term. And so short term, I'm looking at like what can I do in a month or 2 or 3 months or 4 months or within 6 months. So something the way I kind of started off that like growth path was to do a needs assessment to kind of identify what my workplace needs, and just like collecting data and information and what areas the like organization feels like it needs help with on improvement. And then simultaneously, I think me and also any other person who's going to be in a leadership position, just doing kind of a self assessment to identify biases, values, what our styles are, and then kind of setting up that stage for what this journey is going to look like so we can know what we need to improve on individually. And then like within those 6 months working on building more of a diverse committee, so reaching out to people that are associated with the organization to see if they would like to join and kind of telling them why it's important to us that we want diverse perspectives. So I feel like that is kind of where the first short-term path would go, like a 6 month period maybe. And then once we get through all of that, I think it's important to have the leadership do some DEI training and build some skills that are DEI specific. It's a little hard. I am an occupational therapist there. Like I don't get paid for this position. So even though I'm coming up with this growth timeline, a part of me feels like I need to pass the baton on to someone else. And I need to just focus on my role because it almost feels like this leadership position is a full-time position in it of itself. Regardless, I'm going to keep going, but just some thoughts I've been having as we've been on this journey. So I feel like in the middle of that short term and like long term planning, after all the stuff from those first 6 months are done, I think the committee should get together and work on creating some goals that we have with timelines. So I think that would be really great. So we have like short term and long term measurable goals, and then coming up with action steps. So I think kind of like therapy works, I would like to have long term goals and then like achievable short term goals with a estimate of a date. And I think that would be really awesome to keep things moving. I often feel like we get stuck, and because this isn't the primary part of the organization, it can really get like put on the back burner if there isn't an active plan in progress. Working on getting what's the word for it? Like buy-in. I think the organization is still trying to figure out how to get buy-in from our staff. So I think that strategy to like get buy-in from our staff members is really important. And so working on that and providing everyone in the organization in the organization like workshops and trainings for education and sending out resources, I think would be a good plan too, so they can kind of see why we're doing this. And then in the long term, like on between like the next couple of years, I think trying to keep this committee and the work we're doing sustainable, and like figuring out how we're going to do that, how we're going to measure the progress and how we're going to keep track of it and report it would be awesome. And I think eventually engaging with the community would be the goal, and maybe partnering with local organizations. The goal at the end of the day is to make some gains and strides in promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in my workplace, since that doesn't really exist at the moment. And I think that would be great. I ran out of time and wasn't able to talk about the other things, but yeah, that's my timeline for growth. Okay, bye.